This is Kugan Cassis for IFL TV. We are in Bangkok in Thailand for the WBC convention. Joe?
Yes.
How's Bangkok treating you?
Good, mate. Listen, it was very nice of Maurizio to invite me over. He invited me over in February, and the date was already in the diary, obviously, when they found out the news, and he gave me the bracelet blessed by the Pope, that he wanted to come over here, wanted me to attend the event, and they'd look after me and everything else, and they have done, and I've really enjoyed it, being here, being in the workshops, being in the ratings. I think last time I went was to the one in Miami, but it's been good this time, and everyone's been so warm, welcoming, supportive, and like I've said in a few interviews, I'm finding it quite hard getting used to people being nice to me, Kugan.
Right. Before we start with anything, can you let us know how your health is right now?
Yeah, it's obviously after the operation, 4 cycles of chemo, big up. I've just got to do bloods and scans every 6 months, so for these next 2 years that's where it's got to be. So still got to eat well, everything else. Obviously there's a lot of good cells gone after it being blasted by the chemo, but yeah, that's where we're at the moment. I'm just still in as I said, it'll take me 12 months to recover with it. I've just gone through the first 3 months, and it's amazing, Kugan, what they'll show you and what's happening. You think, wow, and I'm into month 4, month 5, and how they lay out what your body will do, and the amount of times people say, oh, you look well. I could have had like a villa on the Palm in Dubai at the moment, but inside I'm still repairing, and my energy levels I'm trying to build up again, and I'm still getting tired quite quickly. I get wiped out easy, but I've just got to build that up. I was supposed to be going to Nigeria with Lawrence, but because I can't have the yellow fever jab, which is a live vaccination, I can't go to that, so everyone else is going instead. Yeah, but apart from that, all right. I wish I had listened to the consultant though at first, instead of throwing myself straight back into it, just to be ready for Mikey in Vegas, because I feel it now. I'm like crashing and burning at days.
I was going to ask you about that, because obviously since we learnt the news, we've seen you very kind of active, which has been your life for how many years anyway. But how's that had an impact on kind of what's going on behind the scenes with your health?
Yeah, no, it's like I said, I throw myself into it. You're in the gym, you're busy working with everyone, and yeah, I do be wiped out. Like after a tough day, the next day it's just like, wow. You like the consultant, he's laughed at me. He said, Joe, you think you've got to be able to bounce back to where you were, and you're not. Your body will soon tell you, and he's right. And when I came back after Vegas, I was just absolutely shattered, and I haven't slept that well this week here in Bangkok neither. But I'll get back Friday night, and I've got Clark Smith fighting Saturday, and I've got Ewan Malone fighting Sunday, so maybe the week after that then I might be able to have a bit of a break.
It's crazy to hear though, because you're here, you're like 12 hours away from home, and you're literally going to back-to-back fight nights or whatever in a short succession of time. It's crazy to hear that.
Yeah, I suppose it is, but it's just all you know, and all the way through the treatment, I've just thrown myself into fights, more fights. I think by the end of the year now, please God, with this year we would have been, we'll go 30-1 for the year. So that's not a bad year with everything that we've all been through and everything, and everyone in good positions, the fighters in good positions, and this year was all about building blocks, and you've got to be the captain of your own ship, and you've got to lead by example. I think I said it to the lads, a few of the lads the other day in the gym, went, for fuck's sake, if you can't beat these journeymen and I'm beating cancer, you need to fuck off, like, do you know what I mean? It's just, I do use the tool now and again, like, do you know what I mean? If I can beat fucking cancer, like, do you know what I mean? But I haven't beat it. I'm still in a recovery process, and we're still under scans and bloods for the next 2 years, every 6 months.
But just going back from your comments a couple of moments ago, do you plan in 2026 to kind of not take a backward step, but
No.
Really?
2026, 2027 is what we've been working on these last 2 years to be able to, we're back, the gym's back, everyone's in good positions now. Lawrence Okolie's got to be into a big fight, Jack Massey's got to be back in the European stage, world stage with Dillian Smith, we've got Billy Dennis coming through, Macaulay McGowan will get a shot at the British title, you've got Josh Holmes on the brink of fighting for British title, Zelfa Barrett, European world, Joe Cooper developing, building up. Mikey Talon will go through the doors next year. Clark Smith will go through the doors next year. there's a lot of titles and a lot of fights over the next 2 years, and then it's like we'll see what happens at the end of 2027 where we'll be.
So the summary of that is no slowing down for 2026?
No, there's not next year. No, we're going full steam ahead next year. Next 2 years have got to be a massive 2 years. It's either like we win them or we don't win them, but that'll be it then after that, I'd say.
Let's talk about, Joe, what's transpired here. I suppose yesterday there was so many different things coming from this convention. Obviously, of note for yourself, Okolie and Itauma. We know they've both got fights upcoming. Obviously, Itauma next month against Jermaine Franklin, Okolie in Nigeria. I mean, cynical people think that we don't see this fight happening.
I don't.
No?
I understood, obviously, I was trying to get Lawrence a mandatory position because they hadn't had a mandatory fight since 2022 when Fury fought Dillian Whyte. And the belt had been active in 4 fights since, and I agree. Listen, the belt's been in the biggest fights against the best opponents with AJ Usyk and Fury Usyk and Daniel Dubois and Usyk. So yeah, could the WBC belt been in a bigger fight than them? No, it couldn't. So I do get that, and Usyk is a great champion. He is a people's champion. The charisma, you've seen him here, the places he's been, and he is a character. But everyone toed the line while we did this undisputed, and we got there and we got the fights and we were spoiled. Now the likes of the other governing bodies now are beginning to go, right, we want to get the belt active now instead of waiting for whatever Alexander wants to do. And I just thought it was worth getting the opportunity yesterday. We did say for the last 6 months we were up for fighting Cabiel. That hasn't materialised for whatever reason. They keep mentioning other people instead of Lawrence. And then they said yesterday, well, next in line, then they said AJ and Dubois and 2 and 3, but they're not available at the moment. So I just think we'll wind the ratings if they're not available. And AJ hasn't fought for a long time, so I don't know why he's in the ratings. And the next one was Moses, and like Lawrence said, listen, we're here to fight everyone and anyone, and that's our mentality. But as far as Moses and Lawrence, they're good kids, they're 2 Nigerian kids, and I just don't understand why they'd want to put 2 kids like that against each other when there's others. I think just below Moses is Hrgovic. Lawrence versus Hrgovic would have been a good fight, and Moses, if he's got to go and fight the winner of Pulev Gassiev, I thought that'd be it, or whatever else there is, because Moses pulled out against the Sanchez fight in a final eliminator as well. Frank Sanchez, didn't it, from what I've read yet. So you seen yesterday, Lee Eaton was surprised that they called it as well. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure it's a fight down the line or whatever happens, but I think straight away there isn't enough money for a pair of them at the moment for that fight to happen. I think you need the influence from His Excellency, and I don't know whether he'd be interested in putting that on.
Let me ask you, might be a stupid question, I don't know. I'm just saying, when I was sat in a lot of these meetings, I sat in the mandatory one yesterday, when there's an opportunity for you to campaign for one of your fighters to be a mandatory, etc., if something happens that's ordered that you don't want to happen, can you contest it or not? It's just, that's what it is.
No, you can do, but there's nothing to contest. We're happy, we're the number one, and all Lawrence wants is a fight, and he wants a juicy fight, and Moses is a juicy fight. Like I said to you, Lee spoke yesterday as well, and I think the way they were talking, they've already got plans marked for what Moses is doing. I don't know, Frank Queensborough, they'll all know as they know what the plan is for Lawrence. I think they'd be surprised with it as well. So that's the announcement yesterday. But like you've already, I think I've already heard Eddie Hearn say that they've ordered Boatsy and what's it called, Ben Whittaker. I think Eddie's already said that's not got to happen straight away, so they can be made, but that as quick as that was made, that's blown away, and I think this will be a similar thing as well. But if it isn't and it's on, then it's on, and it's a great fight, it's a good fight, it's a good juicy fight. He's got to get through Franklin first, and Lawrence has got to get through Nigeria, but it's mad how we're trying to build up Nigeria boxing, and they've got to put 2 Nigerian kids against each other. Like, could have done with this a little bit further down the line, but it is what it is. We're number one, and like Lawrence says, we're here to fight everyone and anyone, and we have got called out and put fights to people, and they've not been accepted. Prior
to Okolie's heavyweight debut, I spoke to you and I mentioned Dillian Whyte, and you were quite adamant that you weren't interested in that. I mean, as what we've heard is there was an offer put to him for this card in Nigeria, but are you, what's going on there then? Are they not consulting you about it? You're still not a fan of that?
No, I seen Lawrence commented and someone put out there they've offered Dillian Whyte the fight and that, but it's not a fight I'm interested in. And like I said to, I think sometimes frustration kicks in, and Lawrence wants to fight, and then whether it be Riakporhe or Dillian Whyte, it gains traction or whatever. But it's like I said to Lawrence, what are you doing that for? Like, it's just been battered by Moses Itauma. You look like, do you know what I mean? Like, just leave it. We don't want to fight. I've said all along I didn't really want to do anything with Dillian. That's gone well behind now. There's an opportunity for that, and that's gone, and we're concentrating on that. I don't even know why his name's brought up to it. I don't know. Only because, like, emotionally it was mentioned for this fight, but as far as I was concerned, that wasn't going to happen.
Obviously not relating to yourself, but I'm sure like the headlines were taken up with the Terence Crawford situation yesterday, which I've just spoken to Maurizio Sullivan about. It looks very messy, that whole situation, doesn't it?
Yeah, listen, I seen Terence reply this morning with the car and the belt and everything else, and Maurizio, you heard him before, he just wishes him good luck in the future of his career, and he's a good servant and good ambassador for boxing and everything else, and that's just boxing, isn't it? They just move on, it is what it is, and that's it, do you understand? So, yeah, not for me to say that's their beef, not my beef, I'm not getting involved in that. Playing home yet, Coogan.
I know, we're all leaving tonight. In regards to, I want to mention Joe Cooper, obviously, he fought on the Deborah show recently, progressing nicely. You open for a big 2026 for Joe Cooper?
No, I'm not. I've said to Frank, I said, Joe's only 19, what's he, 4-0, 5-0 now? I mean, he's just turned 19. I said to Frank, if we can get to Joe Cooper to the age of 22 and 23 and still be involved in boxing and be around 18, 19, 20, we're going to have a serious talent on our hands. He's still a boy, he's still learning, and he's learning on the job, but there's no need to push him through the doors yet. He's learning. I've got a very, very good young squad coming together at the moment with Mikey Talon, Joe Cooper, Huey Malone had a good win the other night. He's 3-0, he's fighting again Sunday, he'll be 4-0. So there's them three kids, do you know what I mean? Kieran McDade, who'll be young Fury in the Manchester Box Cup, he's 2-0 now. So there's all them kids in, as well as Josh Holmes, just that level above, who's on Frank's show. Billy Dennis about to break through the door. So 2026 is for the likes of Jack Massey, Lawrence Okolie, Mikey Talon breaking through, Josh Holmes, Billy Dennis, and for the others like Kieran, Joe Cooper, Huey Malone, it's another building block here, but 2027 they go through the door then, is how I term it. You've got it ready to go. But Joe's a really exceptional talent. He comes up, he stays in Manchester 4 or 5 weeks before his fight, and he trains, and he's got some serious talent. I think he's a bit disappointed in his last performance because he thought, I'll impress Frank and all that stuff. And I said to Joe, I said, listen, just look at Clark Smith, look at Mikey at the moment. They're just going in there and they're learning and they're getting the rounds under the belt. When you get an opportunity and you get called to take an opportunity like Mikey Talon did in Vegas, then that's when you've got to deliver. So don't be worrying about things like that at the moment. I said, you look at people around, Crawler and other people who weren't the biggest punchers on the way through, Liam Smith and that. When it came to titles and the crunch, that's when it mattered, and that's all you have to worry. In the meantime, just learn your trade.
How often does Joe's dad message you?
No, Joe's dad, not often, Coogan. He just lets me get on with it. Message me fight week, and then afterwards just saying thank you. That's it. No, good as gold. Have a good relationship. He's not one of them that's on the phone about him this and that. Nothing like that at all. They have a good relationship. But like I said, until Joe fights, before the weigh-in, just want to know the details of that. He's just a nice fella, lovely family, and it's great seeing them all turn up to watch Joe.
They all turn up as well.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm on another cycle, like I was with Jose Burton when he fought. His mum, his dad, his sisters, all the brothers turned up, and I'm back in that cycle again, but with Joe Cooper this time.
All right, last one before I let you go. I need to hear your thoughts on this. Let's talk about Zelfa Barrett. Obviously, he had a
very good win.
A very good win against a very good opponent in Liam Dillon. It's quite sad to see that further down the card, to be fair. That seemed like that should have been elevated on that card.
The fight before last, he did 12 rounds with Pierce O'Leary for the European light welterweight title. And when Zelfa said to me it's an 8-rounder and all that, I went, listen, he's been with Ryan Garner, he's been with Bellotta, and he's just been with Pierce O'Leary, and Pierce can whack, do you know what I mean, 12 rounds, so you've got to fight. But I feel the way Zelfa is developing and improving in the gymnasium, there's a world title in Zelfa. Just at the moment though, we're in an era of 4 kings in the lightweights with your Abdullah Masons, your Coors, your Javante Davises, them kids. It's very hard. Sam Noakes put up a tremendous performance the other week. When you sat there watching world class, whether it be Bam Bam Rodriguez, Benavidez, Haney and that, I said to Mike, Zelfa is improving. I thought he boxed very, very good the other week against Liam Dillon, and I'm really excited about Zelfa. I think he'll outgrow the lightweight division soon as well, and he'll move up to light welterweight. Now he's allowed his body to breathe and grow and develop. His speed, his punching power and his frame is all beginning to change.
It was a very good win for Zelfa Barrett up in Birmingham. All right, Joe, are you a fan of the AJ Jake Paul fight or not?
If you were to turn around and say AJ and Jake Paul are got to have a move around, and AJ's got to wear like 14-ounce gloves and a head guard, and Jake Paul is, then you go, yeah, because you understand that, because like Ali did that with a wrestler, and Rocky did that with Hulk Hogan, and it'd be like a bit of a misfits in the same way that Jake did it with Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. Mike Tyson, do you know what I mean? It's like football, isn't it, Coogan? We have football, we have Premiership, we have Champions League, but then they do that charity football game at England v the rest of the world.
Soccer Aid.
Yeah, Soccer Aid. So it's a bit like that, isn't it? Because you can't seriously say, no, in the British board, regardless of who they are, and you put them 2 records against each other, one's lost to Tommy Fiore, and you put him in against a gold medalist and a 2-time world champion, you get told to leave town. What you're doing, do you understand? My concern, and I said it a couple of weeks ago, and I'm glad Usyk finger, if Anthony Joshua hits him the way that he hits Francis Ngannou, he's on a life support. He's on a life support machine, and I said it all along, and I think sometimes we go a bit carried away. Yeah, I don't think that'll happen, it's scaremongering, but Usyk said the same thing. The kid could get killed, and Jake Paul, you've got to give him full credit, how he's bringing eyes to the sport, what he's doing, taking himself away, training, sparring, bringing in good sparring partners, the way that he's at himself. But I do feel at times there's someone that needs to be beside him and give him a slap and go, listen, snap out of the bubble, Anthony Joshua. But I understand that he's looking at AJ and go, well, he's not fought since he's been clipped. He could be a bag of nerves in that ring at the beginning. All I've got to do is hit him once, and I might reset him. But if Anthony Joshua comes out like he did with Francis Ngannou, that could go really bad. And then boxing has got to be a black hole, and then everything on the back of that. In this era where there's a lot of stuff going on in like the UFC and MMA and bare knuckle and boxing, last thing boxing needs is something horrible to happen on the biggest stage with the biggest eyeballs. There'll be such a black eye for boxing. But if they had a head guard and moved around in 14-ounce gloves, then you go, yeah, it is what it is. But to sanction it as a proper
10-ounce gloves, isn't it?
Yeah, but well, at the commission here now, I've asked for 12-ounce gloves moving forward for heavyweights and a new weight division. I've petitioned for that, a new weight division at light cruiserweight. Between light heavyweight and cruiserweight, there's too much of a weight.
I forgot about this actually, yeah. So this has been discussed.
Yeah, it's been discussed. So it'd be at £187, which is 13 stone 5. Because if you look at the weight divisions, Coogan, from the small ones, they go up £3-4 at a time, hit featherweight, and then the £6-7 all the way up to light heavyweight, which is 12.7. From there, then they go straight to 14.4. If you're fighting 14.4, really you're fighting a man boiling down from 16 stone. And you've seen fighters in the past like Enzo Macronella, and there's other like so I'll give you an example now. Josh Buatsi, Anthony Hard, are they big enough for cruiserweight? No, they're not. Could they be better at light cruiserweight? So there's a £25 weight division, a weight difference in there, and that's killing people. There was an Irish kid, I think, Jamie Moore at that time. He just struggled at the weight.
This could be at 180, yeah.
187.
187, sorry. Sorry, 180.
There's a £25 gap between the two of them, but if we hit it bang in the middle, so it'd be like 13.5, and we call it light cruiserweight, and I think that would be really safe then, do you understand? That there's a good, the light heavyweights a safe one instead of having to jump up to cruiserweights, Coogan, do you know what I mean? And then I've also petitioned for moving forward bridgerweight and heavyweights wear 12-ounce gloves. You can't have an 18-stone man with the same gloves as an 11-stone man. So if you're changing gloves for 11 stone from a 7-stone man at 4 stone, then you should have to at some point, do you know what I mean? They can't get the hands on them for a start, so hopefully that comes out of it. But I do think they're two big pluses for boxing.
Any other names considered for that light cruiserweight division or not?
Is there what?
Any other names being considered for that light cruiserweight name? You know, like Bridgerweight. Was anything?
No, I just said to him yesterday, let's call it light cruiserweight. I think Matt Christie said let's call it Gallagher weight. I'm like, fuck off, Matt. Do you know what I mean? So no, light cruiserweight, because that's what it'd be, light heavyweight, light cruiserweight.
I think that's sensible.
Yeah, just call it light cruiserweight, and I think it's good, and I think there'll be a lot of people breathing, because I always felt bad for Enzo. He was just boiling a bit too much for light heavyweight, but then went to cruiserweight, they were just too big, do you understand? And it's horrible to be stuck in the middle, and originally when they were doing the bridgerweight, that's where they should have gone there, do you understand, in the middle? And I think where only 1 or 2 governing bodies recognise bridgerweight, I think every governing body would recognise a light cruiserweight, do you know what I mean, for the safety of the fighters.
Right, Joe, I will let you get on.
Yeah.
Much appreciate your time. I'm sure, no doubt, we'll see you at some point.
Well, like I said, we've got 3 more now before the end of the year, and then we're off Frank's show in January. A couple of good kids on there, and then, all the dates will start falling in then, so, yeah, try and get a bit of a rest. But we can't now. We're only 8 weeks or 7 weeks from Frank's show, isn't it? People always think like just got November. It's only like 7 weeks away, Frank's show. So Josh Holmes and them are already in camp. So there's no time off over Christmas, is there? Do you know what I mean? So it's what it is, isn't it?
Joe Gallagher, much appreciate your time, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
Cheers, thanks, Pete.